Hey, so anyway, so how was Beach Week for you, man?
Oh my gosh. Beach week was just great. It's always great, but especially this year, just because it's my last year. Really watching it get handed off to the next group of people, next generation. Yeah. And it was just awesome.
Yeah, what was maybe like one or two like kind of specific things that God showed you, or maybe that God spoke to you?
Well, one of them just really was stop, get over yourself. You're not that important. Like you are to me, but you're not that important. So you need to. I was just really in myself, into myself, and just worried about myself. And God, that way just really was just showed me, man, I got you. So let go, take care of other people, and I got you. So if He's got me, then I can take care of other people. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, what's maybe something that I know you're a graduating senior, so like after tonight, are you even gonna? Is this your last time at TSC students? Are you gonna
I'm
be there on
never gonna
Sundays?
walk in this
You're
building.
never gonna like come see us again, right? That's it. Banished from the land. It's you can still come, Carson. But okay, so what is maybe something that you would want to leave? It's a special moment. I mean, you grew up in this youth group. You're practically born in this church. What would you say to just our student ministry, our youth group? What challenge or just word of encouragement would you give us as you head out to college?
I think the best challenge or encouragement or both that I could really give is uh, care about others, but don't care about what yourself looks like. Because when you're in the we talked about this during Beach Week. When you're in the will of God, nothing ever feels better. Doesn't matter what you're doing. It just there's something inside you that's just 100% fulfillment. And but it's strange because it's one of the feelings that's just most easily forgotten because Satan just comes in and he throws all this stuff in your face. And I just gotta say, get through all the crap in this life. Like, it's not worth it. Because being 100% in God, just engulfed in it, is amazing. Like, it's one of those feelings that you're always gonna know it's there and you always know what it feels like, but somehow you just forget until you think about it. Make a point to think about it, and God's got you the rest of the way. I mean, I'm as messed up. I'm not smart. I'm as bad as any of y'all. So I mean,
That's pretty bad.
I mean, seriously, if it God's got you. It doesn't matter what you've got in your life. It's He can use whoever.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Do you believe? Last question for you. Do you believe that God wants to use young people and that He wants to use even high school students or even uh, the middle school students that might be in here?
Absolutely, 100%. I think high school and middle school students and teenagers have more influence than any other person on this earth. Doesn't matter who it is. It could be the president of the United States. I truly believe that in order to make a difference in this world, it starts with the youngest generation. And right now, we may not be the youngest, but right now we're the most influential because what we are is what this world is going to be in the next 10 years. And so if we are on fire and just losing it for God, then it's crazy how much change can happen in 10 years. And I just see great things coming along if we could just all, like I said, get through whatever Satan throws at us and just know resting 100% in God is just where it's at.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know time flies, right? I mean, you've already graduated, so I'm sure that like these last 4 years and even 7 years of your life have flown by. But hey, would you guys just give a loud applause for Luke Ellis? I'll take that mic. Thank you, bro. Thank you. How are y'all doing? Hey, you're all wearing your Beach Week shirts. I mean, that's so cute. So, can we get a picture of this? That's awesome. We're actually filming tonight, so it's really cool. Hey, so good to see you guys. So, you guys are rising juniors, right? So, what school do y'all go to?
I'm homeschooled.
All right.
I go to Summit.
Summit.
All right, Summit representing. That's awesome. Okay, so I know you guys were, y'all were all at Beach Week. Obviously, you were wearing your shirts. What was something that God did in your life during Beach Week? And we can just have a conversation up here. So.
For me, on the first night, Jordan talked about how easy it is to become professional Christians and play the part of a Christian, but never really fully grasp the understanding. And I think I've been doing that for several years, putting church as a priority, but not really comprehending what the gospel means to me.
Cool.
Okay, so for me, also on the first night when Jordan Tardo was talking about Zacchaeus and how he was running in front of the crowd and like eliminating all distractions so it could just be him and Jesus. And that really stuck with me because there's a lot of things in my life that I just need to eliminate so I can just have a relationship with just me and Jesus and just not have any distractions and anything getting in the way of that.
Awesome.
For me, it would have to be whenever Curtis was talking about Jesus walking on water and Peter wanting to go outside of the boat and be with Jesus and how little faith he had, but Jesus was still there to save him because Peter was sinking. And it makes me think that whenever I have troubles going on in my life, like we all do, it just makes me think that God has got it because he's the most comfortable when we are the most uncomfortable. So.
Good stuff. Hey, yeah. I mean, y'all can hold the mic, whoever. Hey, how many of you guys enjoyed Curtis and Jordan? Weren't they awesome? They're awesome. They're really cool. Yeah, Tardo. Woo! Man, they were great. They were great. So I know. Okay, so we had a pretty candid conversation. What night was it? Was it Thursday night? The night we stayed up till like 5 a.m. Did y'all even go to bed?
Like an hour.
For like an hour. They went to bed for like an hour. Okay, so just real talk right here. I always thought that Ashley was like. I always thought she was a very calm person, like always had it together, and then you still have it together. But like that night, the later it got, like the more like I could tell like how hyper she is, and like I mean, true colors. I mean, she is a ton of fun. It was awesome. Did you fall asleep in the grass by the volleyball court?
I fell asleep in the grass, and then there's a picture of us. We fell asleep in the lawn chairs. I was sitting on Britton's lap, and then there was two other people that just like we just fell asleep. Like,
oh my goodness, what time was that?
5.
You lost track. 5 o'clock. Oh my, that's ridiculous. I don't know who allowed you guys to do that, but we've got curfew. Okay, so I know so we had a pretty real talk, right? So we don't have to get into all the details of that, but kind of the gist of it was kind of like changes and stuff that have happened over the last year, and just working out connection and working past that. It's totally putting you guys on the spot. Is there something that you could like maybe share regarding that without getting too specific? I know Alyssa's grabbing for the mic. You can give it to her, but maybe a word of like encouragement to us as a student ministry that you could share with us, Alyssa.
Okay, I just wanted to say, whenever the youth ministry had started to change, because I did lose one of my best friends because she did move. And so I kind of blamed God and the church for doing that, which I know I shouldn't have. But going to Beach Week actually really softened my heart and made me more accepting to the changes that we have, because I am the person that hates change. Like if we say that we're going to go eat at this place and we say we're changing it to this place, I'm like the person that's like, nope, like I'm not doing that. So just saying to be open to change and don't let your heart be full of bitterness, because it just really puts you in a sour attitude, and it does not have your eyes focused on God.
Good. Anybody else want to speak to that, or no? Okay, so all right. So anything else you guys would like to share? Maybe something about Beach Week, maybe something God spoke to you, or maybe something that you prepared that my questions kind of messed up. Just kind of like last thoughts. Hey, so FYI, while you guys are thinking, my sophomore year was like the best year of my high school career, and I know you guys are just leaving that. So, was sophomore year like your best year yet, or no? No.
It was a pretty good
It was a
year.
pretty good. Okay, that was my favorite year. I don't know why, but it was a pretty awesome year. Okay, so I'll ask another question to not leave it open ended. Is that better? Yeah, if that's helpful. Okay, so I know. So you guys were sophomores. It's kind of like the awkward stage where you're kind of hidden, right? Like the freshmen, they're new, they get picked on and stuff like that. Junior, super busy. Like you're just looking forward to being a senior. You know, seniors, they're checked out, whatever. And then you have sophomores, right? Kind of like the awkward middle child. And I am a middle child. So now that you guys are, I mean, you're going to be juniors, you're kind of stepping up, like, and you'll kind of realize, like, man, like high school's almost over. How do you guys feel just about maybe even kind of like what Luca talked about, just using your influence? How do you guys feel about that piece and just about leading in your generation and being a light for Christ and actually leading your peers? Ashley, you can start because you have the mic.
So personally, towards the end of the year, last year, I was walking down the hallway and it just like, I had a God moment. Like I was just looking around and I was like, so many of my people that like I walk past in the hallway every day, like don't know Jesus. And something that's been like laid on my heart is like starting Young Life at Summit. And so if you go to Summit, that's going to be happening next year. And so I'm just really excited to see like where that goes and how many lives it changes.
That's awesome. Alyssa?
Okay, so
You don't have to answer it if you don't want. Did you already forget the question? How do you feel like kind of tagging along with what like Luke mentioned, just about like you guys have a ton of influence, right? And just being in high school, middle school, like with you like becoming a junior, like you're kind of like reaching your end of being like a student. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts just about like using the influence you have to make a difference for Christ?
okay, so what I think about that is whenever you, like Ashley said, walk down the hallway and you look at like not a lot of people know Christ. Like I'm gonna tie this back into Max Hollis. Like he was a young man on fire for God, and he has reached a lot of people through that. So I think that since one person can do that, like what if a whole class does that and reaches like everybody through God? And since we are the most influential people, I think that would be pretty awesome that everybody would like come together. And with us having like 2 more years of high school, thinking that it's gonna go by fast, because like thinking back to August, like I don't even remember anything, and like I just knew it went by so fast. So we better like hold on tight and get ready for what God has in store.
I had a moment on, I think it was Thursday, that we were praying over seniors, rising seniors and current seniors. And I realized 2 years and I'm it. I'm out, I'm in the real world. And it just scared me to the point of, it's like, what do I want to leave behind for my younger generation? I have a younger sister, so I was thinking, what do I want her to see out of me? Do I want her to see a worldly influence, or do I want her to see my Christian influence and how unashamed I was to proclaim him? So just the challenge of learning in our generation, especially when media says, this is what's normal, when normal's not working, am I going to change that?
Good. Man, you're so articulate. Oh my gosh. You're homeschooled. There you go. That's awesome. Hey, okay, so thank you guys so much for sharing. Would you all give it up for these lovely ladies? I'll take that mic. So, hey, how was Beach Week, Muriel? Let me hear from you guys. How was Beach Week? There are a ton of you guys up here, so maybe share a highlight and share about something that God spoke to you or showed you during the week.
So I would say probably the highlight of Beach Week is that there were a lot of different songs this year. Like there was a change in Jaden Frazier. What's so funny about that answer? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I don't know. Just worship's a big thing for me, and I really thought that the team hit it hard this year. So if we could just give a round of applause to the band real right now, that'd be great. Yeah.
They were awesome. They were incredible.
And God really showed me this year that I'm blessed beyond measure. I know it's really hard to, at times, think of what you're struggling with, but the things you are struggling with are usually a lot less harsh than what's going on in the outside world. I know that it was Curry who talked about his childhood and how he struggled with something for 11 years, and it really just showed how much how blessed we are. So.
What's up, Russ? All right, so I'm going to repeat the question, all right, because you guys might forget. So share like a highlight from Beach Week, something that was like awesome, something you loved, and maybe something that God showed you throughout the week, or maybe in one specific moment. It doesn't have to be in that order, so whatever you want to, or if it's something completely random, you can share about that too.
One of the best things about Beach Week was probably the worship. Worship's very important to me. That's what I get into the most.
I'm seeing a trend. Where's Logan at? Logan, you guys did awesome. Y'all did awesome. So what was something, did God speak to you at all? Did he show you anything maybe specifically or generally?
He showed me that you really just need to use your situation that you're in to glorify him. And that, can we have a round of applause for the band?
Good. What's up, Cade?
How you doing, Tim?
Good, man. I'm doing good. All right, so do you remember the question?
I did.
Okay, it's open-ended.
So,
go for it.
One of the best things for the junior guys is we shared a house with the junior girls. So we had like a lot of fun pranking them in the 3 a.m. and stuff. And they came back and like did stuff to us. So that was a good time.
Hey, did y'all see Graham's back there? Did y'all see her?
Grandma
Man,
Stacy.
Grandma Stacy, what's up?
Grandma Stacy.
And these guys like mad crushing on you. I don't know how.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
What was the second part? Oh yeah. And then Curry was talking and he said that God is comfortable when you're uncomfortable. Was mentioned by her right there. I forget her name. I'm sorry.
Alyssa? Yep.
But yeah, like my main thing is like I gotta get myself out there. You know, I gotta get the word out there, and yeah, so that's a big thing.
Hey, so while we're on that topic, before you hand over the mic, so you guys are rising seniors, right? So next year is gonna be your last year. You guys are just natural leaders, right? God's gifted you guys, given y'all influence, and then 2, you're gonna be in that role of just where you're at in high school. So, given what you just said, how do you feel about going into your senior year, and how do you feel challenged maybe by the Lord just in using your influence and becoming more uncomfortable, and like taking those steps and making yourself uncomfortable, but for reaching people for Christ?
Like how I feel about it.
How do you feel about that? Like share about that. Have you thought about that? Totally putting these guys on the spot if you haven't noticed, but they're doing a great job. It's a loaded question. If you want to think about it and pass the mic to Drake, you can do that too. No. Okay, your buds are saying hand the mic back. So.
All right. I'm excited for it. Like, okay, me and Russ have the Summer Squad leaders. Like, we got the account. Andrew got it for Independence. Yeah, so that'll be and Drake too. Okay, so like that'll be fun. No, for Independence. They got it for Independence. Yeah. So that'll be big. Like, so we'll have like the whole power of like the Summer Squad thing. We'll be in the front of the student section. So yeah. So, shut up. Like, okay, so I don't know. It'll be big. It'll be fun to be like the head of it. And I'm really excited for that, and hopefully I can just. I don't know. Last year the leaders did a good job sharing like God's. I don't know. We had like a lot of prayer circles and launch every now and then, and during like break we would like. I don't know. People would come up to us. It's a hard question, man. All right, here you go, Drake.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
What was your question that you asked at the beginning?
The original, like, oh my god,
Yeah,
we need to have
it
him on the screen. Okay, so like just like Beach Week highlight, like what was your favorite part?
Okay.
Parts, maybe something God
I like
spoke to you.
the group of guys that we were with. It was a really good cornucopia of men. It was just really good. Yeah, and the worship was really nice. Really good worship. Other than the worship, the difference in speakers was really cool because like usually we'll have like one speaker or maybe 2. This year we had 4, which was just I don't know, I liked it. Curry had a good message. Tardo had a good message. Tardo,
That's Jordan Tardo and Curtis Curry, for those of you wondering. Yeah. So was there anything like specifically that maybe God like pressed on your heart where he was like maybe kept putting us like the same theme? Like,
Yeah, I think it's really neat to see like this whole kind of like, I guess, revival in Williamson County, like through Wilco United or whatever it may be. Like it kind of just definitely put it back into context of how like we're really changing this whole area. There are a lot of different things that we're doing, and like we're, I mean, it's all us. Like we're doing it. So just continue to do that. Yeah.
and as far as Wilco United, I mean, you're taking a pretty big lead in that, right? It's kind of
I
go
think,
Drake.
Yeah, me and Andrew will have a
Okay,
pretty good
awesome.
hand
Yeah,
on that, so.
yeah, cool. What about you, Andrew?
All right. So Beach Week was amazing. Yeah, amazing. I kind of walked into it and I knew it was going to be good, and it's always been good. Like all of the camps I've been to, been transforming to me. But I was kind of like, well, I don't know what God is going to show me this year. Like, I just didn't know, and so I would like set my expectations a little low, and by like the last day, it was, yeah, it was, it was crazy. So, yeah, but I think what I liked the most was beach volleyball in the cabin.
Oh man, that was awesome.
And the worship, gotta say it. My favorite message was Tardo's the morning message, where he talked about relationships and stuff, and not just like dating relationships, but friendships too. That like you have to set boundaries among each other, and just know like your limits there, and just like going into next year with God's blessed me with a ton of leadership roles this upcoming year. I keep on saying gosh. So he's blessed me with a ton of leadership roles. But I just saw the value of oh my god. I'm just gonna keep going on. He showed me that he showed me the value of relationships, and going into next year, how much I'm gonna need all the relationships, and just to lead, I'm gonna need.
Oh! You're a good man. Just keep rolling.
No, I'm gonna need relationships, and also he showed me to be humble, and he showed me to be humble, and I don't want to say it so bad. I just need to be humble, and I can't let it get to me, because I have a lot of leadership stuff to do next year.
That's good.
Obviously, I'm not good at speaking. I need to get better.
No,
at this.
man, that's awesome. So, you guys, like, are y'all noticing how giddy these guys are up here? Man, multiply this by like 100 when Miss Stacy Hall was banging on our door. These guys were, I've never seen them so giddy. They're just like, oh my gosh, it's Grams, oh my gosh.
Freshman.
That was awesome. All right, so any final words just for tonight, maybe that you would challenge just all students with? Because you guys are going to be the oldest students here pretty soon, before you know it. Anything that you would say? We can start with you, Andrew. Hey, if not, you can just hand the mic.
Big joke.
Drake's got this. Okay, Russ, you got the mic, man. It's like hot potato.
I would just challenge everybody to use the situation that they're in to glorify God, and know that there is a way, but you just have to actually like search for God and make an effort to find Him, and He'll show up.
It's good. Jordan? No? You can hand the mic back to Drake, and then we can end it on Drake.
I'm gonna say something deep, but
Okay.
just like
Profound.
brewing. Yeah. Okay, check this out.
Get ready to cut his mic back there. I don't.
the worst things in life that God does is always for the better. Remember that. Always for the better.
It's good. Somebody
That's all I
tweet
gotta
that. All right, we'll end this on Drake, and then
I think a lot of times we come back from beach week or whether it's camp and we get back and we have like this camp high, like we're really on fire for God and we're just going to church every Wednesday or whatever. But then throughout the year, like maybe school starts back and it just kind of fades and then you're just out of it. Like probably by like second semester, you're just done. Don't let that happen because it's just like why, like just keep it going because, we could really do something.
how do you keep it going?
Like you just come to church and you read the Bible and you do all the churchy stuff and you keep on doing it, but you don't stop because you can't get burnt out.
You can't get burned out. This is good.
I didn't have another answer.
This is good. Hey, this is some wisdom right here. Thank you, guys. Would y'all applause our upcoming senior guys? This was great. Hey, I'll see you, man. Share, just take 30 seconds, share a highlight from Beach Week. Share something God did in your life, something you'd like to share with all of us.
A highlight for my Beach Week experience was a lot of the speakers talked about relationships. EJ did, Jordan Tardo did. Just the fact that relationships are really important, and the relationships of we are going to be rising seniors, we are going to be leading our youth this next year. And that's something that we have to take interest in and be careful of because we are being watched. But that shouldn't hold us down in anything. That shouldn't become more important than our relationship with God. And that's the most important factor. And a lot of the fact that we do also have to have boundaries. And a lot of it was that relationships are important, but the loneliness isn't bad either. That I don't remember which speaker it was that said it, but loneliness is God's calling to us to go spend time with him, to get away from people for just a little bit, and you don't have to worry about what they're thinking or what they're saying so that you can really focus on what God's saying.
That's good. Sophie, I'll repeat the question. Yeah, and just whatever you want to share about Beach Week, go for it. Maybe something God did in your life, something he showed you.
So before Beach Week, I feel like I was trying to do a lot of things on my own, and I wasn't seeking God's help. And he was kind of on the sideline of my life when I needed him to be playing the game with me. And I think through that time, I built up a wall of just sin and unholy things. And I think God showed me at Beach Week that no matter how high we build up our wall, that he can always break it down. And he's the only one that can break it down.
That's awesome. The maturity. I mean, you guys are just preaching up here. But sorry, guys, but should have had them up here longer. That was awesome. That's so cool. Russ is offended. You did good. Y'all did good. So what's something that you guys would maybe share, maybe even specifically just to our entire student body, but maybe even the girls specifically who are younger than you guys, just about living for Christ just during their high school years and even giving God their all?
I guess, like I said, it doesn't matter what people think. Find those relationships that are coming from church, coming from God, and hold on to them. And both sides of it have to work. Both sides of the friendship have to pursue one another and pursue God. And make sure that it's not just all about that friend. Make sure it's about God and getting together and having quiet times and all that. So I guess just making sure that your eyesight and your goal is everything for God, that it's not about what the world thinks. It's not about how many roles you have or how many straight A's that you get. It's not about all those things. I know for me, God really told me this year at Beach Week, he's like, look, school's important. Yeah, it's a responsibility, but God comes first. And so that's something that no matter what year you are, it's going to be a struggle to try to be the leader you need to be everywhere, but God comes first no matter what.
I'd say listen to your mom, because she knows.
That's a good one.
And listen to God.
That's a good one. Are you saying that because she's back there? Okay. I saw her. Okay, she left. Okay, that's good. Listen to your parents, right? And Jordan Tardo even talked about that. I thought that was a great point. So Hey, would y'all give it up for these awesome ladies? I'll take that mic. Thank you, guys. Okay, so how was Beach Week for you guys? It was your first year going, right?
Yeah. I thought it was really awesome. It's really moving and also really fun. It was a great experience.
Yeah. What so same kind of similar question, like what were the highlights for you just about, Beach Week? Was there anything specifically that God like talked to you about, spoke to you?
I also love the worship, as a lot of people did. I also loved the every speaker up there. I thought it was really awesome that they switched it up this year and got a lot of speakers. But if there's one thing that God really spoke to me, and it was to step out of your comfort zone. I think God calls all of us to step out of our comfort zone and just own who we are in God, and not be afraid to show others who that is.
That's good, man. That's great. What about you, Cade? Was there anything specifically that God spoke to you about at Beach Week?
Well, I came into Beach Week not really thinking that, I'd gone to Mountain Week and stuff. I didn't really think that anything important was going to happen. I was just like, oh, it's Beach Week and that. But the first night, it's a funny story. It all has to do with a pair of sunglasses.
Nice.
I was not really paying attention at the very beginning, and Jordan's sister, when she was throwing stuff, I was zoned out, and she threw a pair of sunglasses, and it hit the chair in front of me and bounced on the floor and it scared me. I was like, what happened?
Was that God waking you up like, bro, pay attention?
I was like, oh, God was like, Cade, I'm giving you a pair of sunglasses. You've wanted a pair of sunglasses. You better listen to me this week.
Had you really been wanting a pair of sunglasses?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And he opened my eyes to like listen, and he blessed me with sleep. They actually let me sleep this week, or past week.
That's a miracle, man.
Yeah.
Sleep during camp, that's a miracle.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, was there something specifically that maybe God showed you during the week? I know he woke you up, right? God legit threw sunglasses at you the first night. Was there, like, looking back, I know you got baptized, but was there something specifically that you would say, man, maybe this is why God had me go to Beach Week, and this is something that he did in my life?
Showed me that I didn't really like do anything like at school. I like didn't give in to things, but I didn't do anything about them. I just stood there and watched people do them, and I didn't do anything about it. So God showed me that I have the ability to do that. I have the armor of God on. I just need to go and help people.
Yeah, and lead, right? So, Ryan, going back to you, and then we'll close and I'll pray and we'll get out of here. But what's something that you would just challenge everybody with? Even those who might be comfortable, who might think, like I can't lead or I can't make a difference or I'm too young, whatever. What would you challenge just your peers with tonight?
Well, before I came to Beach Week, I was more focused on God's plan for me in my future and what He wanted me to do further on in life. But God really showed me at Beach Week that I need to be more focused on what God wants me to do now, and here in my school, in my community, in my church. And I just challenge everybody here that He can use you. Whoever you are, He can use you. You're not too young. It doesn't matter who you are. Just step out of your comfort zone and live for Him.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what would you say about, I'm going to keep throwing questions at you because you're answering them. What would you say to students who might be like, hey, I went to Beach Week or I love God, but how do I continue that through the summer, through my year?
The biggest advice I could give is just stay connected. Get in your word, pray, do whatever, join a Bible study, keep coming here. Just stay connected with God and He will continue to move through you and you'll feel His presence.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. You guys give it up for these guys.